If your single leg work in the gym feels weak and unbalanced, not stable, watch this. We're gonna fix it in just a minute. If you want more and like this video and find it helpful, I wrote an article about this on Substack, way more in depth. Go there, check it out, let me know what you think. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is external stability to internal stability. The easiest way to think of that is thinking of when we have max external stability, we are gonna be way stronger than when we have no external stability and we have to rely on max internal stability. So if we were looking at that in like a progression of exercises, think about how strong and stable you feel on a leg press, right? Maxed out external stability. Then think about moving to a hack squat or a machine squat. Little bit less weight, you're probably not as strong, but you still feel comfortable. Your external stability is still really high, internal stability is still super low. Then they're gonna start to get a little closer, we're getting to the shift. We're going to a barbell back squat or a goblet squat, something like that, right? There, we do not have nearly as much external stability. We're able to push ourselves into a bar and kind of create some pressure, but other than that, I'll rely on you, right? Last one, single leg work. Talking about split squats, Bulgarian split squats, lunges, all that stuff. That's gonna be where normally our internal stability demands are way higher than our external stability demands, because we don't have any use, right? There's not many machines that I know of that exist for that. Definitely do them on like a Smith machine, single leg press, stuff like that, right? But what we're gonna do is take this exercise that requires a lot of internal stability, the split squat, and just add some external stability. Grab something like a rack, side of the rack. You can use a stick. You could use the wall if you don't have anything else. Sorry about that. All right, so the first thing as we warm up, we're gonna find our stance using as much external stability as I can. I'm still pretty comfortable with these, and I still like to warm up this way. It really just helps you dial in your stance. The second thing we're gonna do is start working on what our front and back legs are doing when we set them up. We don't want this front leg too far forward, too far back. We don't want our back leg too close or too far. And we don't want our back leg too close to the midline or too far away from the midline, right? So we're checking one variable on the front, two different directions on the back leg. Figure those out when you're maxed out with your external stability and no weight. It can change, kind of tweak as you get stronger too. After you feel comfortable with that, we're gonna talk about engaging our glute and hip and pulling with our back leg. That is the number one thing I see people do where they create, this is your only place to create more stability right here, right? So if I just go step into this and I'm tall-toed or I'm loose step like a lunge, that's also why lunges are harder than split squats, right? Because there's more dynamic movement involved, less chance for stability. So we're gonna get planted. I wanna find somewhere I can keep an active foot. So an active foot means my toes are starting to curl. Even if you don't have good mobility there, keep practicing this. You will gain more mobility in your foot and ankle from it and toes. So, got my active foot, I'm driving in the ground. And the way I know I'm driving is I should flex my glute and it extends my hip nice and tall right here. If I try to extend my hip first and then flex my glute, kind of works, but wrong order. We want the hip to extend because the glute flexed. We don't want to extend the hip and then hope the glute can catch and flex with it. So now we got that, boom, going down. When I go down, I am driving my toes, not my heel, through my toes that are in here. And I'm thinking about pulling my knee to the ground. So I'm not just thinking about this front leg really at all. I'm keeping my foot stable, grabbing the ground like a good squat. But when I go, I'm thinking on the way down, my back leg pushing this way through my glute like I'm trying to take off on a sprint. All right? And then on the way up is where this bad boy comes in play. And we're gonna feel the drive, okay? Once you figure that out, playing around with full external stability, we're gonna start making it a little harder, start scaling it. Next step we're gonna do is grab some weight. Many ways you can start loading this. I think the easiest is contralateral. This will all be in the article if you want more in depth, but outside or opposite sides of the body. So my legs up here, contralateral is the opposite side. This is where I'm gonna create my alternating stability, and I'm gonna hold my weight ispilaterally on my same side I'm working. So I'm here, boom, checking all my cues, I'm still driving, holding, and I'm pulling myself down, exploding up front leg. So here, driving, back legs doing most of the work, boom, okay? When you get good with this, the next thing I would do is move to something like a stick or a foam roller or a bench or a box, or even just barely touching the side of a wall. Because a rack or something like this pull-up bar is going to be more external stability, right? So all we're doing is downgrading the external stability. So when I get here, same concept, boom, driving my toes, boom, just like that. Something to consider when you ditch the external stability is going back to contralateral single loading or dual loading dumbbells is going to be easier than ispilateral, in my opinion. If you like it the other way, do what feels best. Load how you can load and keep improving. Peace.